Okay, sit namhlanje.
Oh, sorry guys, got distracted, eh? Good day. My name is Muhlali Buzani and thank you so much for tuning into Refining Perspectives. Perhaps we got distracted. But please, do leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Refining Perspective. After a while,
We're back.
we are back.
Hey guys.
Finally. Maybe you've even forgotten who we are. I'm Tobani
And
Vumindala.
I'm Muhlali Buzani.
And we thank you so much, guys, for tuning in once again. So today, without wasting no time, we want to jump straight
Do it.
into today's episode,
Yeah.
into today's topic. What are we talking about today, bro?
Bro, today we are talking about distractions.
Okay.
I mean, just to add some humor, that beske saduka nje kancane
Because
of distractions.
okay.
So here we are again. I mean, we got a little bit distracted.
Yeah.
Hence now we think, bro, it's important that we talk about this topic. And
Yeah.
really, I mean, I don't think it's a comfortable one.
No, it's definitely not a comfortable
I
one.
sent you something yesterday, and how did it go? Just tell them, how did it go?
I was saying this to Muhlali just before we actually recorded this episode, and I was like, when I was listening to the audio in preparation of today's episode, I was like, hey, why can't I just switch off this guy?
Yeah, this guy is a
This
nuisance.
guy is
Yeah.
Why? Because he was hitting all the right spots, bro.
Yeah.
And you see, the thing is, I think one of the reasons why I felt like really got invested in him is because we always know when we are kind of like off
Yeah.
the mark.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it's not comfortable
That's
now
true.
getting
That's
someone
true.
else
That's
to
true.
tell you,
That's true.
Ogoti, you are really
Wow.
off the mark.
Bro, let's maybe just start there.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, with today. According to Oxford's dictionary, a distraction
Yeah.
is a thing that prevents someone from concentrating on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's something that prevents someone from concentrating on something else. So what that means is that there's something else is usually the more important thing that we're supposed to be doing. But now it's but distracted and we end up diverting from what we were meant to be doing. So on that note of what you're saying, I recently had a conversation with someone where she said to me, perhaps it's not just about hustling and bustling. Our generation, we always like, hustle your way through, push, no matter what. Put in the hard work, yes. We're not disputing effort and hard work.
Yeah, it's important.
However, Tubani, she said to me, it's about aligning. How aligned are we?
Now, before we go forward, bro,
Yeah.
we said we were talking about
Distractions, yeah.
And perhaps maybe we're going to say we're talking about distraction and the effect
Yeah.
of our distractedness.
Yeah,
if there's such a word.
Yeah.
If there's no such a word, you've
Then
had it
there's a
first
word, yeah.
on
Yeah.
Refining Perspectives.
Yeah.
And how perhaps maybe at the end of this episode we're going to go to the point of how we can actually deal with distracted mindset, with our distracted, we're living in a world whereby it's very easy for us to become distracted.
Yeah.
And so you've put the definition very well and simple with it. Distraction, it is something else that distracts you from doing something else. And usually the something else is what is really important that you need to be doing. Now, you are saying, Oti, the problem is more than just, because we usually talk of hustling and getting things done. The problem is not just that. The problem or the issue is in aligning. Can you elaborate?
Okay, so basically, bro, we touch on these things as we go by good defining perspectives. We've once spoken about vision and the importance of having a goal that you set for yourself. You can only be distracted if there is something that you were
Wow.
that you were working towards. So now when we've got that goal that we have, that we're working towards, certain distractions will come up along the way, and what they will do, they will deter us and divert us from where we are supposed to be going.
So basically, you are saying the only way for me to actually find out that I am distracted, first I need to have a vision or a goal.
Definitely.
If I don't have a vision or a goal that I'm working towards, it will be even difficult for me to pick up the fact that I am actually
do you know
distracted.
the sad part, Toban? Distraction will be your comfort zone. You'll be comfortable there, because you have no object of moving from it.
There's nothing that pushes you beyond this point that you are at right now. And perhaps maybe to crystallize what you are talking about, even to the viewer watching at home right now. What in practicality, when we talk about distraction, what are we talking about,
bro? First and foremost, let's go to it. You understand distractor nowadays, it's social media, our phones. That's one of this one.
Yeah.
You know that thing uthi iphone yakho ngoku ingakhali ngathi yakhala. You know? Because I realized something that in the early hours of the morning, the first reason why I'm going to go and check my phone, I'm checking notifications, bro. And the reason why I'm checking notifications is because they give me that essence, hey, you're important, man.
To such a point that even when you don't hear a beep telling you that there's a notification, you go for yourself to check. So now, why am I saying it's important, and why is it important in the early hours of the morning? You'll hear that professionals say they only touch their phone, Tobani, only after 10 in the morning. At 5 o'clock, I'm already uploading a status on WhatsApp. And you know what that does? It then affects my thinking throughout the day, because cognitive bandwidth. That's what Robin Sharma calls it. Where you it's like, let's say you've got 100 Rand note. Let's put it this way. And you're gonna spend this 100 Rand note throughout the day. So let's say past 9 o'clock, utenga into 10 Rand. So each and every time you move, you're depositing the 100 Rand. 100 Rand. That's the same with the cognitive bandwidth. What does it mean? When I invest time in my phone in the early hours of the morning, I've already wasted about 15 to 20% of my attention span for the day. That means uzothe to 10 o'clock Tobani, it's 40% okanye 30%. That's why, and then most of us, we are still on the social media. So you find that we're only effective on 10% of our attention the whole day. So we're kind of like undercutting ourselves in terms of our capability, what we could do.
What we could do.
Now end up being in a point whereby we are delivering way less than we are capable of doing.
Do you know what's sad? You and I are friends. You were calling me, you sit Buhlali, like you're putting in a lot of work. I understand that you're putting in a lot of work, but what about family? You're supposed to be making time for family and all that stuff. You know, the delusion is there, Tobani, ne? The more you sort of put in the sweat equity or the work, you think that you are effective in attention, but you're not. So easy, you're just giving them 20% there, 30% there, and it's not giving it your full attention. Hence, we can singabila sonke, and we can say, yo, it's been a long day, I'm so tired. Yet we weren't effective in all the things that we were doing.
And sometimes you're going to wonder then, what's the difference between me and that person? Because we are all working so hard, but the results are not the same.
Exactly.
And perhaps maybe, bro, to drive another point again, that you've made a beautiful example of one of the distractions. In fact, I can say one of the prominent distractions that we have today. It's social media. And I would add on top of that, and not just name one,
Okay.
and say that it's not just social media,
Yeah.
it's everything that gives us pleasure.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
that give us pleasure, they
Yeah.
usually become the most appealing source
Yeah.
of distraction. That is
Yeah.
why then social media today is the one that
Yeah.
is the more prominent, because it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
But if we were to find to look at other people, perhaps maybe
Yeah.
who don't have access to social media, they
Yeah.
still have distraction. Sometimes a person gets distracted by what they enjoy more
Yeah,
doing, so
yeah.
to such a point that we end up putting off things that we're supposed to be doing,
Yeah,
because
that's
equally,
true.
you know, that it seems to be much more appealing
Yeah,
or
and
nice
pleasurable, yeah.
pleasurable
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
what is
And which is
I'm supposed to
unfortunately,
be
Tobbs,
doing.
most of the time it's not contributing towards making us better people.
Hmm.
Yeah, but this is that are actually distractions that are destructive of us innately. Yeah, but for example, what I can say is that, like, I recently learned from another friend of ours, what he calls the SWOT. You know what we used in business studies?
Yeah.
SWOT. He says the strength, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats.
Yeah.
So basically, what he has is like a model that he was teaching me. He said, because I was telling him, bruh, I just find myself having thoughts, yeah, that are not so comfortable, yeah, For example, what type of thoughts, bruh? Let's just get real and
Okay.
yeah. Like, for
Get down to
example,
it.
yeah, let's get down to it. So, for example, you know, many guys who would listen would know that we when we talk in our conversations, Tobani, we are most prone to like sexual content. Especially on social media. I don't know how it happens or what, but then what that does is that noba munga funi utinga towards that.
Yeah.
You can find yourself in a position where you find yourself
your mind is more lenient towards
that. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get
So
what you're saying.
this one morning, bruh, I woke up with those type of thoughts, and I was so frustrated at myself because I needed to wake up and go and get some work going, but I was in the comfort of my bed, and then but the more Ben clearly in the comfort of my bed, it was like the more I was entertaining these
the
thoughts.
Yeah, and when you entertain them, you're giving them now
There
power.
now more power, So I was telling our friend this, and he was like, "No, Bushali Chongane. Whenever whenever you are in a threatening position, this is all about positioning. Tina, we think we need to change the act or the habit, but all we need to do is to change our positioning." What he meant was, Toban, whenever you're in a threatening position, a comfortable position or environment, it will be threatening because it will expose your weaknesses.
Okay, that's so true.
And whenever your weaknesses are exposed, then you are bound. You are a human being. You are a person. You are bound to.
Perhaps, bro, it's. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think sometimes we stick and stay in our comfortable positions because they kind of like don't challenge us.
Yeah.
You know, when you are in that comfort zone, you already know what to expect.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be vulnerable.
You don't have to be vulnerable.
You don't have to be vulnerable.
In that comfort zone, Toban, remember, you're getting pleasure. And remember, if you're someone who has a vision, you already know the best version of yourself and who you have to be. So when you bite into that weakness, bruh, and you indulge in it, bruh, the guilt after it is not worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
So I just want to come up with the practical solution of this. So this guy was like, all you need to do is to change the position.
Okay.
So I remember now, immediately after I stood up, I did my bed. Those thoughts left.
Yeah, because now you're busy with something else.
And
someone once said, you don't fight off a bad thought, you replace a bad thought. You put it like that. But because if you're going to fight bad thoughts, that's all you're going to be doing the rest of your life. And you'll never win. But you don't, what you do is you replace it with another good thought. And once you start doing that, the bad thoughts will no longer have power on you. And when he said that will no longer have power, he added emphasis is that it's not that they won't stop, they will stop coming. They will continue coming from time to time.
That's true,
but
that's
since
true.
now you have perfected the art of overriding them with good thoughts, they will you'll always become numb to
Perhaps
them.
I want to pose a question. I know that, okay, we're obviously nearly even about to get to our 15-minute mark. But when I just want to pose the question. I know we're talking about distraction, but don't you think now this topic has everything to do with how we perceive ourselves? Because if I, as Ubuhlali, perceive myself when Otobani as someone who is mediocre.
Listen, bro, before you even finish that question, this is one of the questions that I had in mind for myself when we were thinking about this topic. And I was saying perhaps maybe this is what I'm going to ask you and ask the viewers as well. Ogoti, how do you then know that you are distracted?
How do you then know that you are distracted?
Exactly.
When?
How? And when do you know?
Oh, how and when that you are
know?
distracted. Yeah, bro, I want to say, now this is how I'd answer that. First and foremost, we as human beings, we've already spoken about this Apple refining perspective.
Yeah.
We're not here by chance, we're not here by luck. We have been given gifts, we've been given talents. And those gifts and talents are made to be put to work to serve a mission and an assignment, a purpose that God has given us. So once we come to the enlightenment or the knowledge of that purpose, ours is to align Tobani with that.
That's it, bro. That's it. I don't think you have to even go further. That's it. Because really, if we don't know our purpose, if we don't know our capacity, if we don't know, you usually put it this way, the noble and the perfect idea of who you are, if we don't have a picture of that, then we can never be able to actually get to know that I'm distracted right now. I'm not going according to course. I'm not because here's the thing, we are always, as you were saying when we in the beginning, we are all able to work, be busy. But now, in the midst of being busy, how do you know? Because some people, when we talk about being distracted, they will think that, I know, perhaps maybe these guys are doing nothing and sleeping all day. But sometimes you are busy doing something,
you are
working,
active.
You know,
but you are lost.
But while you are doing that, you're actually like, no, man, I'm distracted. Some of the things that I know that I want to do and I could do, I'm not getting them done because you have this idea and you have come to terms with the fact that there is a purpose that I'm here to fulfill. And so you know what that entails. And so you are fighting and living your life to approach that end goal. So you know what to go. These steps that I am not taking are as a result of me being distracted.
Exactly. No, I agree with you 100%.
So now perhaps maybe, bro, just to drive it home now and say, how do you deal with distraction as we're coming to an end of today's episode? For you, and I know that this is, for me, in fact, this is still something that I'm, you know, as I was saying with you, even when I was listening to that podcast, I will link it below for someone that also will want to listen to it.
Perhaps, Tobbs, on
how
my
do
side,
you deal with it?
That goes to the essence of my faith. My faith, when it Tobbs, more than anything, the gospel, it teaches us that we need to gain full control over our minds first before we can control and dominate our environment. So for me, when it Tobbs, what I could say is that the battle is in the mind. If we can come to the knowledge of that, I need to first gain control of my thoughts. What do I think of myself? Because what I think of myself will determine what, like, me being able to detect whether Indo is a distraction or not, according to where I should be. So I would first say it begins in the mind and me gaining full control. It doesn't mean that even I may get distracted, but the essence of me having control over my mind, I will not settle, for a 2-minute pleasure, over who I will be in the long run. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you're making sense.
I think in practicality, that's what I could say. But sometimes you fail. I've failed. Tops. In the past 2 months, I mean, I was really distracted in many other things. Like, you know that. I mean, you were calling me out for them, most of them, before the shoot. But in all of that, we must also be graceful to ourselves. Understand that you won't be perfect in pursuit of the most noble version of yourself. But always make sure that you align yourself with who
So you're basically saying it's really important to know your I don't just want to say identity, but to know your purpose.
First and foremost.
That's really the one that is really important.
Because it's like our purpose, it really informs our diet. It informs about what we should be eating, what we should not be eating. It informs what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. But before an act becomes an act, it becomes a thought. So I need to control my thoughts. I need to fix my thoughts on things that are true about me. But I mean, guys, most probably Tops, it's ending now. But maybe in the next episode, we will talk about how we engage the world from a place of unworthiness, Tina. That's why it's so easy for us to get distracted and comfortable in distractions, dog. Because engage leads from a place of such that.
And perhaps maybe that's why even social media has this power to become the most dominant distraction, because we want that validation.
We want that validation. We want that approval.
Wow.
We want all of that. So, Kandi, you will never be able. You're only able to live out the best version of yourself once you understand that becoming you will make you become different. When you become you become unique. When people see you, they see a different breed. So now, if you don't know your purpose, you will think becoming different is something that's wrong.
Because look, when you are different, you become ostracized.
Exactly.
When you are different, you are put aside and you are strange. And for most of the time growing up, you will find that even your peers are like,
exactly.
We are being too philosophical and all that. It's strange. Can't get the true essence of who you are and the blessing of being who you are. It's in being who you are,
not anyone
else. Perhaps maybe as to wrap it up 100%, and to allude to everything that you said, you have spoken about the importance of having control over your mind and also knowing your identity and purpose. And I think that feeds into everything else that we can say about how to defeat the battle of being distracted. And I just want to go through just a few things here. One of the things that I've written down here for how to set yourself free from distraction. I was listening to the podcast and just be offline. Go offline. Allow yourself to be offline and tell yourself, this is the task that I'm going to do, and for the next 2 hours I'm going to be offline. And number 2, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break from time to time, as much as while you're working hard doing everything, because I believe that thing of giving yourself a break, it allows you to recalibrate and look at things from the right perspective and see which side, because we can easily lose balance. And so that time of giving ourselves a break, it allows us to really recalibrate and take on more challenging work. And we talked about our comfort zone. Allow yourself to come out of your comfort zone and take on the more challenging work, and that will really now demand you also get from the things that distract you, because if something is challenging, if you need to study, the phone needs to be far away from you. You see, but things that, because I can imagine even for myself when I'm working, designing or anything, I can work with my phone next to me. But now when I need to study, it's always a challenge, especially if I'm doing something related to theory. It always becomes a challenge.
Really does. It
you
really
see?
does.
So those are some of the things that we can allude to. So have control over your mind. Know your identity and your purpose. Challenge yourself. Put yourself in those challenging positions. And give yourself a break and allow yourself to just go offline from time to time, so that you can be alone with yourself.
And in the morning, give yourself an hour at least to stay in your mind. I am trying to practice it as well. Like phone team, like who's and also what also helps, switch off your notifications. Switch off your notifications.
That's key.
So that you don't always phone yako kumbuz. But phone yako is not a phone for notifications.
And again, for me, that's how I came across the settings, and I turned off most of my notifications.
Same.
Because the problem was that, more especially because, see, here's the thing, I do most things on my phone. So now when you open up your phone and there are all these banners, those red dots, and they're calling you, but open me. So I just turned off all those banners. So even if there's a message or anything, if I'm going to go and read the Bible, I just go to the Bible without getting the distraction. There's a message on WhatsApp calling me, or there's a notification on Facebook. And I believe that you at home as well, you can develop your own strategies depending on how serious are you in terms of really wanting to break free from this distracted mindset. And I think it also feeds into even your procrastination. It will really help. And I believe that, bro, we've done this topic justice. So please, at home, if you want to engage with us, there are any questions that you have, please leave them in the comment section below. And your last...
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We've missed you. We love you. Continue, guys, to be with us. Join us with the conversations. Share with your friends and your family. We love you from Refining Perspectives. I'm Muhlal Buzani.
And I'm Tobano Vomida. Wait. Can we say that we're back by popular demand?
Yeah, we are back. Hang on.
Even though we have like five subscribers.
5 subscribers. I didn't 3.
Like those tricks.
And we know all our subscribers.
We know you. If you are subscribed to our channel, we know you. So wherever you are, thank you so much for your support. Please share the channel. Subscribe. If you have not subscribed, hit subscribe right now. Turn on the notifications so that whenever I upload a new video, you may be alert. From Tobano Vomida and Muhlal Buzani. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.